Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Ben Nevis BN3032G. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Abulon watch, and wow, is this scary. And Grego is wearing my Corjo 3002. When Grego was at summer camp, his cabin was declared cleanest cabin, and they won a pizza party at the end of camp. I said, wow, you must have had a really clean cabin. He said no. Ben Solo told the judge if they weren't declared the winner, he would force choke him into the Stone Age. All right, let's take a look at the watch. It comes in a box. Ben Nevis usually doesn't come in a box, but every once in a while they do. Then it says, every minute and second with you, enjoy together forever. And here's the watch. And I don't know if you noticed during the unboxing video, the loom pip was missing. So this is the second watch I've had. I sent the other one back, and so they sent me another one with the loom pip intact, which is a good thing because the loom pip is the best loom on the watch. When one reviews a $14 AliExpress watch, the last thing anyone expects is a fast-ticking quartz watch, but that is exactly what I got with this BN3032G fast-ticking quartz watch. Obviously, a $14 watch was not going to have a Seiko VH31. I didn't know that there was a Chinese-made equivalent, but underneath is the Sunin SP68. This is an homage to the Tudor Black Bay 41. This watch only comes in two colorways. If you don't like the burgundy, there is also the black. But there is no blue at all. As far as the black is concerned, Ben Nevis is a little behind and didn't get the memo that Tudor dished the gilt hands and markers on the black model for a more modern white look. But the burgundy still has gilt, so the burgundy does look a lot more like the real Tudor. The watch is 42.4 millimeters at the bezel, which slightly overhangs the case. So the case is probably 42. 50 millimeters lug to lug with inverted end links. It's only 12 millimeters thick. Has a 22 millimeter lug width that tapers down to 18 at the clasp. And weighs 107 grams on the supplied hollow bracelet with 3 links removed. The bezel is an aluminum 60-click unidirectional. And believe it or not, the action is not horrible. It's not good action by no means, but compared to some of these really cheap AliExpress dive style watches, it's really not horrible. So 60 click, and it's a nice looking bezel. The burgundy, I don't know, could be a little bit more burgundy color, but it's not horrible. Then we have the dial. The dial is a flat black with no sunburst effect. And then we have the gilt chapter ring with the minute markers. And then we have gilt hands and indices. And we have the snowflake hour hand, snowflake second hand, fence post minute hand. Then we have the upside down triangle, batons at the 3, 6, and 9, dots everywhere else. And then up top it says Ben Nevis and gives the logo. And there is no date on this watch, and there's no date on the movement, so there is no ghost date. Then we have a signed push-pull crown. Usually you don't get signed out of Ben Nevis, but there you go. The crown action is a little loose, and when you go to press it in, it will move on you when you're pressing. So you have to hold it, and as long as you hold it, you can press it in without a minute hand jump. But you have to hold it. But at least the act of pushing it in doesn't make it jump. Then we have the crystal. The crystal is flat in glass, and there's not much to it. It's a little, got some smudges on it. Let me clean it real quick. But it does the job. Nothing wrong with it. Then we have the case. The case is a chrome-plated alloy. You don't get steel in this price. But it's got a nice shape to it. It's a little long, but I do like the case. At least it wears nice and flat. And then we have the case back. The case back is a press-on. Then it says Ben Nevis BN3032G in the middle. Then it says stainless steel case back, which is a good tell that the rest is not. And then it says Quartz 3 ATM water resistant. Yes, you only get 3 ATM. This is a dive style watch, not a dive watch. Underneath the case back is the Sunin SP68 quartz movement. This movement ticks 4 times a second. And this is the only time I've seen a very affordable Chinese watch with a movement that ticks 4 times a second. So I'm kind of happy with that. And then we have the bracelet. The bracelet's not great. It's hollow. We have hollow inverted end links, at least they're inverted. And then we have the hollow 3-link, kind of oyster style. And it kind of reminds me of just about any watch in this price range has a bracelet like this. They're not very good. And it's really hard to get the push pins out. It does have push pins, but I had a little struggle there. I've had worse, but this one was not great. Bent a few tools getting these pins out. Now I'd remove 3. And then we have the clasp. The clasp is kind of unusual. They make it look, Rolex used to do a clasp like this a long time ago, where they made it look like it had the links in it. And it was never my favorite looking clasp. I think it just doesn't look nice. I would have just assumed them leave the fake links off and just have it smooth. But they do, look at all these micro adjusts though. You have 8, so that's pretty impressive there. So you will get the perfect fit if you have to. But the clasp mechanism, it doesn't work very well. It gets out of alignment easy, and sometimes it's difficult to pry open. So haven't been too happy with that. I've never been a fan of friction clasp. I'd much rather have a push button because I always end up banging my thumb when I try to open them. Here is the watch at my 7.5-inch wrist. It looks nice. It wears nice. It's not a bad looking watch for $14. And once again, it does tick 4 times a second. Of course, I didn't mention this before, but the second hand is kind of short. And the minute hand is kind of short too. It would have been nice if they would have reached the minute markers. But it's a good looking watch. Here we are in the lume room. A $14 AliExpress is never going to have great lume, but let's see if it is decent or at least so-so. As we speed up the time, the indices fade almost immediately, but the hands are much better. Unfortunately, the minute hand is much weaker than the hour hand and can't even keep up with the second hand. But look at that lume pip. Too bad the rest of the watch wasn't like the lume pip. What I like about this watch? Well, it looks and wears nice. It has a Sunin SP68 movement that ticks 4 times a second. And there's plenty of micro adjust on the clasp. What are my gripes and groans? The clasp is difficult to operate. It's not a push button, and it's a lot of slop to it, so it's kind of hard to close. And the hands are a little short. The minute hand and the second hand should at least reach the chapter ring, but it doesn't. And this hollow bracelet just feels cheap. Do I recommend this watch? Yes, a fast ticking watch in this price range is a deal maker. And it isn't bad looking for the money. So yes, I recommend it for the $14 that it cost. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Ben Nevis BN3032G, and I will be back with an unboxing. I got 3 watches from AliExpress today. At least I'm pretty sure it's 3 watches from AliExpress. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. And if you do like this watch, be sure to use my affiliate link and I'll get a tiny commission. But those tiny commissions do add up. Bye.